the Eagles and the Texans under the lights on...
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. Fighting to stay upright. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. Now Stroud. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Zach Bond, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This now a 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Stroud. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. It'll go as a gain of 4. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
You look at the defense for these Texans.
This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Yeah, this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. The Eagles at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that can ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. Short completion, just 4 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
You and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a 1-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. 2nd and 10.
Stroud out of the gun here. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And that one drops down, incomplete.
Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Stroud to throw it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
He's got this complete to Stover, the tight end.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Here's Tommy Townsend now.
As he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. Well, they've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Hurts. Complete. Smith has it.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's Hurts to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Goes right back to Smith again. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. In motion left comes Brown. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And this will be caught by Brown. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as a tackle made at the 18. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's caught. Smith. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. They'll look to throw again. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. We show you the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns. You can see where he's right up there amongst the league's best at finding the end zone.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for my guys, gets a smile on their faces, and gets them going to begin the second half.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll set up a throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. And the tight end goes in motion left.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
Now back to throw.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Houston's offense taking over again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Stroud. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Collins. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter.
Here we go, let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now Stroud. Now inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. If you've been waiting all day for Sunday night, it's been worth the wait. All tied here in the 4th as the kick is away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Hey, easy, 63, 63, bang.
Throwing is Hurts. He's got Smith here. And he takes us up to the 40. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle 1st down.
No touch that.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Miami.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Good, check.
A handoff to Barkley.
There's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
Good, check. Go Silver, ready?
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset.
Now first and goal.
They've got it first and goal, looking to take the lead here in the late going. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. He'll look to throw. Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. As we check out the league leaders in passing yards, you can see he's right up there among the best in the NFL at this point in the season. Stroud to throw it. Connected with Mixon.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Now Stroud. He gets this complete to Diggs.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10. That's caught by Diggs.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Stroud.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line.
Stroud looks to throw.
Staying on his feet. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, it came down to the final play in such a close ball game. What a game it was, but they can't get that last throw off. Good job by that defense to get in there for the sack to seal it.
And for fans watching the game, a little bit anticlimactic, don't you think, partner? Not even able to get off one last throw to see how it would have turned out. Instead, pass rush.